Good evening from the Abyss. This is Rob, and tonight I'm going to go over my top 10 comedies of all time. This should be fun. I love comedies. They're a lot of fun, and to me, comedies have to be about timing, rhythm, connections, relationships, which really ties into what we do as actors, right? How we play off of other actors, how they play off of us. So to me, these movies really stand the test of time because of the chemistry between the actors. Of course, the story, the plot line, and everything else. But to me, it always starts with the actors. So at number 10, I'm going to go with City Slickers, from Billy Crystal to Bruno Kirby, Jack Palance, of course. You've got David Painter in there, several other actors that are just the timing and the rhythm and the energy is just amazing. And the story, I mean, one of the best opening scenes in film history is them running with the bulls, and then it just goes from there about being daredevils and taking risks and stuff, and then being able to drive a cattle, which they really did, and even to the point where Billy Crystal delivers the calf. He does that in the movie for real, and that's a one take, and it's real. And so when you see that happening, it stands the test of time because it really happened. It's pretty neat. So at number 10, City Slickers. At number 9, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Just an amazing story about two con guys who rival each other, work together, then against each other, and then with each other again. And just the way that Michael Caine is the straight guy and Steve Martin is the fool, and the way that they play off each other, the character of Ruprecht and all of that, just stands the test of time about how funny these guys were together, and what a great gem of a comedy this movie is. So at number 9, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. At number 8, a classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Matthew Broderick hit it out of the park. He is Ferris Bueller, and he's been in other great movies like Glory and War Games and other things like that. But I mean, his staple, of course, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and just from his timing and his delivery and what Jennifer Grey brings to the screen as the sister, and of course Jeffrey Jones as Mr. Rooney. Just that whole connection and mixture of the actors, and of course another great story. Alan Ruck, can't forget him as Cameron, as the nervous friend. But just all of it together. I mean, there's so many classic, iconic scenes. It may come down lower in some of people's list, but for me, it falls in at number 8. At number 7, Wedding Crashers. I think this is the only one that done up on the list that is past 1990. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, along with Christopher Walken. Can you imagine Christopher Walken being your potential father-in-law, or you're dating a daughter of Christopher Walken? That alone makes the humor great. This also introduces Bradley Cooper to us, and he as Sack is just such a jerk that you love to hate that guy, and the way that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson use him, and the way they use each other, and the chemistry between these two is second to none. An amazing film, my number 7. At number 6, one of my all-time favorites, Silver Streak. This connects Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor together for the first time, and then you add in Jill Clayburgh, and they are amazing. Basically, the whole movie, most of the movie's on a train with some side scenes outside the train, but it also introduces the character of Jaws. He's not Jaws in the movie, but he Richard Kiel is there with the silver teeth, which the following year you'll see him in Spy Who Loved Me, 007, and then of course Moonraker and other ones. But I think For Your Eyes Only is another one that Jaws was in. But in any case, I'm not sure. Anyways, it is a awesome movie. The timing's impeccable. Gene Wilder at his best. And then you add Richard Pryor, and it's just off the charts. If you have not seen this, I highly recommend it. I show clips from this in my classes all the time. It's excellent. At number 5, another Gene Wilder film, of course, Young Frankenstein. And what's neat about this is Mel Brooks did a couple things that are really cool. A, he filmed it in black and white, and B, he used the real equipment and sets that they used for the original Frankenstein in 1931 to use in the laboratory for this movie. So you have some realism from a true Frankenstein film, along with the black and white, and you add in the comedy of Gene Wilder and Peter Boyle and Marty Feldman and a young Terry Garr, Cloris Leachman, Madeline Kahn. The list goes on. It's iconic. It's epic. Funny, and there's still just the timing is so well done between all the actors that it just stands the test of time. And it says a lot about Gene Wilder to be number 5 and number 6 on my list of comedies. He's just ridiculous. He's so talented, and we were blessed to watch so many films of his through the years. So at number 5, Young Frankenstein. At number 4, a hidden gem, Running Scared. This put Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines together for one film, and it's sad that they never put him in a film ever again together, because they really worked well together. They had great timing. They played off each other really well, and they did an amazing job. They are two cops in Chicago who are dealing with retirement, and it's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's at number 4 for a reason. It's hysterical. If you've never seen it, watch this. Not the Running Scared that is done, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s. The one from the 80s, Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, Running Scared. At number 3 is Night Shift. The only reason I have it on DVD is yet to be released on Blu-ray, so at least I have this version of the film. This was Ron Howard's directorial debut, and it stars Henry Winkler, who up to this point was really well known for the Fonz. So in this movie, it was a very different type role than he was used to playing. You got Shelley Long from Cheers fame, who plays a prostitute in the film, so it's very different than what she was used to playing as Diane in Cheers. And then you have a young Michael Keaton, and he steals the show. Once again, with the dry man, like we were talking about Michael Caine and Steve Martin earlier in the segment, Henry Winkler as the straight guy with Michael Keaton as the crazy dude. They really work well together. It's a classic. It's a hidden classic. I think it's 1982. Yeah, and it's basically they work the midnight shift, the late shift, the night shift at the morgue, and decide to become pimps, and it goes from there. So highly recommend this film if you haven't seen. That's at number 3. At number 2 is Midnight Run. Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin, John Astin, Joey Pags as the bail bondsman. You have Dennis Farina as the mob boss. Once again, a great, unbelievable cast. And basically, De Niro has so many days, I think it's 3, 4, 5 days, to bring Charles Grodin back to his bail bondsman before he loses out on the money. And it's all the stuff they go through along the way. And once again, the only movie these two work together, Charles Grodin as the straight guy, De Niro as the bounty hunter, and their timing is, once again, like a lot of these that we've talked about, is impeccable, and it's a top-notch film. If you've never seen it, you need to watch it. It's unbelievable, and it's hysterical. At number 2, Midnight Run. And last and not certainly least, as many of you heard in the workshop through the years or whatever, I've not hidden this. Number 1 comedy, in my opinion, is Animal House. This movie was filmed in 30 days. They had to get in the University of Oregon and get out. The backstory on this was that Landis couldn't get universities to sign off after seeing the script. Well, the University of Oregon said okay before looking at the script, so he wanted to get through this as fast as he could. So he basically gave himself a 30-day window to film this, got in, got out, done. And what you get in return is 90% one takes. So the things you're seeing happening are how they happen. Belushi sliding across the screen, popping up and going, that just happened. A lot of that kind of stuff. And I think that's what holds the test of time, is what you're seeing is real. Belushi going through the food lining, eating all the food. Landis is walking behind him, telling him what to do, and it's just one take. When things are as real as that, it's going to be funny, because it's not the manufactured humor that you would see in a lot of crap comedies. It's authentic, in the moment comedy that is happening, and that's why it stands the test of time for me at number one. So I got Animal House at number one. I got Midnight Run at 2. Night Shift at 3. Running Scared at 4. Young Frankenstein at 5. Silver Streak at 6. Wedding Crashers at 7. Ferris Bueller at 8. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels at 9. And City Slickers at 10. Go ahead and go in the comment section and list your 10 out. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Until next time, this is Rob in the Abyss. We'll see you soon.